Hey, what's going on? Keith from Trigger Happy. Going to take a look at a great rifle here today. This is an AK47 variant rifle. This is the Century Arms N-Pap M70, and these are made in Serbia. And a little history on Serbian rifles, or what a lot of people would call Yugoslavian pattern rifles or Yugo pattern rifles. They are not exactly the same as anything else out there. So if you're looking at a Yugoslavian pattern rifle, you're looking at something a little bit different, and we'll get into those here shortly. But for me, I'm a fan of a lot of Russian builds, but a lot of that market has really dried up with the import ban, excuse me. And you're not going to be able to find, Russian built stuff at a reasonable price, at least where I'm at anyway. You're going to pay a pretty high premium. So if you're looking for a quality rifle, you've got to look at something else. And this stuff imported, these N-Paps and O-Paps that Century Arms is bringing in, are a really nice alternative to some of the Russian stuff. So first of all, you get two PMags in the box, which is great. I'll throw those aside because everybody knows what a Magpul PMag looks like. But the rifle itself, now I have changed out the brake on the front here. I put a Tapco Interfuse slotted muzzle brake. Here is the one that comes with it, kind of the angled brake. There's nothing wrong with this. It's actually quite nice and does a pretty good job. I just prefer this one a little bit better. Now, same threading as any other AK pattern rifle. You'll notice there's a little detent that has to be pressed, and then it'll just screw off, and you can replace it with pretty much any muzzle device that you want. Front sight, pretty standard AK style front sight, adjustable. One thing you need to look at when you're buying an AK pattern rifle, that front sight needs to be straight. And that sounds silly, but on a lot of imported stuff, it's going to be canted to one side or the other. You'll notice, well, it's really hard to show, but this one is perfectly straight. And I think that speaks to the quality of what is coming out of the Zastava factory in Serbia. The gas block also, you'll find on a lot of rifles. I've had older AK rifles where this is all jacked up. It's to one side or the other, not good. It does have your cleaning rod here, no bayonet lug. Some rifles have eliminated the cleaning rod. I honestly don't use it, but I kind of like the look of it, so that is included. You also know there's a sling mount mounted right into the block there. Kind of odd that there's not a matching one on the stock itself in the rear, so it's a little strange why they put it there, but it is there. Now, the first thing we'll talk about here, this is not a chrome lined barrel. Some people get all hung up on chrome lining, and there's a little bit of truth to why you want a chrome lined barrel. If you're shooting corrosive ammo, much easier to clean, and it's a little better to keep the barrel in good condition over long years of use with corrosive ammo. Personally, I don't shoot corrosive ammo. I'm not really worried about it. This is a 16.5-inch cold hammer forged barrel. It's a very nice barrel. It's made well. It's a relatively, I'd call it a medium profile barrel, I guess. So it's not super heavy and it's not pencil thin. So I like the barrel there. Accuracy wise, it's AK47 standard, let's say. So you're not going to be out shooting your AR-15s anytime soon. Really nice wood furniture they put on these. There are some that will come as a polymer version. I like the wood here. This is not standard to any other AK platform. So if you're going to replace the wood, or if you bought the polymer style, you want to replace that with some kind of rail system, you're going to have to find Yugo variant hand guards, because like I say, and they're not easy to find, so at least at a good price. So Magpul is not currently making anything for those. I think Hogue makes kind of a rubberized style front grip. Midwest Industries makes some nice stuff, but there again, you're not going to be able to walk into your local gun shop and find anything Yugoslavian very often. So just keep that in mind. If you want to change this, you're going to have to do a little searching. Really nice milled rear sight here. It's kind of got a shiny look to it. Really well done. I've seen some of these just absolutely beat up and just look like they've been through hell. But because this is a fully new rifle, there's no surplus parts on it. There's nothing that's seen the field before, so you're getting everything brand new, and it really shows on that rear sight there how nice it looks. Chrome lined, at least they say. Bolt carrier, and I'll show you a little bit of that later because I've got some issues with this, I guess, but it is chrome lined. You'll notice that Yugoslavian, or these Yugo pattern rifles, do have a bolt latch cut out right here, so you can hold that bolt to the rear if you desire, which is kind of nice. And then you can just take it off safe and flip it down to fire, and that bolt will ride home. It's kind of a nice little feature. You know, the Tapco trigger is one that is kind of renowned for being very good, and this has it right out of the box. Got the Tapco G2 trigger. Now, if you haven't seen this trigger before, the gun is clear, obviously. You know, it's been checked prior to starting the video here, but very nice trigger. There's just a little bit of bring up and just a nice break. Outstanding trigger. You're not going to have trigger slap issues like you do on some of the other imported stuff out there. Kind of a non-standard pistol grip here. You notice there's finger grooves, which actually I really like, and there's kind of a molded place here for your thumb, and on the other side, same as well. I like that. You know, just it fits my hand really nice. If you don't care for it, easily replaceable. It's not an expensive part, and you can swap that out. Now, another real difference here. Flip this around. This is not a standard stock. It doesn't attach in a standard way like other AK pattern rifles do. So there again, if you're going to replace the stock, you've got to find Yugo specific stocks to replace this. It's basically a large bolt. It's drilled out to approximately right here. Then there's a bolt that runs all the way in. It's very sturdy, and I like the you know, the way that it's attached a little bit better than the standard AK. You'll notice also it's a longer length of pull, and it's got a higher comb to it. Excuse me, and it's also wider. So for optics stuff, if you're going to scope this rifle, it's nice that it's got this higher comb. You can get a better cheek weld. You know, it's probably a ½ inch taller than a standard AK stock, so I do like that. It does have a rubberized butt pad on the back, which is nice. A lot of them don't have that. So I really like the stock. Longer length of pull, just kind of better for me anyway. Now for another non-standard item on this rifle. The scope mount here on the left comes standard on the rifle, but it is not like anything else out there. Here's a basic mount, just a cheapo mount that works quite well on any AK pattern rifle. But if you were going to try to put this on here, it would go to about right there. And if that, actually, a little further back. It just doesn't fit. So you can't lock it on tight. It's way too far back. So you either have to spend a fair amount of money and get one that is designed for this rail, or you can modify what you have. And you can see I've done that here. Took a Dremel tool and just kind of cut this out. And now it'll slide on there to wherever I desire it to be. You know, I can go all the way to the front, lock it down, and you know, it's on there. So easy fix for this problem anyway. Or you can spend 150 bucks and buy the mount that, you know, is designed to work with this rifle. Whatever you want to do. Couple other things that I would advise to look at on any AK pattern rifle is the rivets. Are they loose? Are they too deep? You know, you can see some on some rifles where they've been set too deep, and you can kind of see where this is kind of smashed in. That's not good. When I was buying this rifle, I found a few that were where the rivets were loose enough I could get a fingernail under them and kind of wobble them around. Also not good. You also want to look that the magazine locks up tightly. You'd be surprised how many rifles there's a lot of play. On these, there's no play. No forward or back play at all. No side to side. Very tight and nicely done, which is what you want. You'll see there's a little bit of burrs and things I need to kind of grind off here inside the magazine well, maybe file down a little bit. It's kind of rough, but just really well done. I'll show you what I was talking about on the inside. The way that you take off the top cover is a little different. There's a button here on the side that's got to be depressed before you can pop this top cover off. It's a little odd, to be honest with you, but there's a design reason for that. Now it's also got to be depressed again to be able to pull your spring out. What I was speaking of with a chrome lined bolt here earlier, so I'm going to take this off camera here. And this may not show up real well, but I cleaned it as best I could. You can see where some of that chrome lining is already coming off here. I don't know how well that shows up. So, it's not the best chrome lining, that's for sure, because it's come off pretty easily, and this gun has not seen a lot of action as of yet. So, take it or leave it as far as the chrome lining and how good that is. But I'm not going to try to piece this back together on camera. But I will say, for a gun that's going to retail $600-ish, maybe a little less, maybe a little more, I think you get a lot here. A lot of upgrades, heavier stock, heavier handguards, a hammer forged barrel, just a really nice rifle. And I don't think you can go wrong, but just keep in mind, if you're somebody that likes to tactical everything out, which is fine, it's going to cost you a fair amount of money to make some changes to some of these parts just because they are Yugo pattern specific. So thanks again for watching. I am going to make some changes to this rifle in the future, and I'll take you to the range and show you how well it shoots and some of the changes I'm going to make down the road. But for now, I'll say, as a bare bones rifle, it gets a thumbs up from me. So we'll see you next time. It's Keith from Trigger Happy. Thanks for watching.